Sarah Hellburn has a tale straight out of hell itself, the Jersey Devil.
New Jersey is hell. So.
What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
I don't mean to take up the spotlight for another second, but I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, and he's from Jersey, and that's always talking about the Jersey Devil. So I'm ready.
What the fuck is that? Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Okay. So Paris, I want to show you a picture first because I found the perfect picture. This is the picture that I was always shown as a kid, and it's kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's kind of creepy drawn. But
oh yeah, we can see it.
It's got a head usually of a goat or a horse.
Mm-hmm.
You got those wyvern ass wings. Sometimes they have arms, other times they don't, and then hooves. There's just a freaky looking, weird fucking kangaroo like bitch.
Yeah, a goat with wings and a long ass neck.
Yeah, it's usually got like horns and a fucking weird ass tail too. But I mean, there's super like so many different variations of it. There's a few different origin stories too, but like the main one that I was told growing up that my mom told me, so it's also called Leeds Devil, Mother Leeds. I think her first name was like Diane or some shit. I don't know, but apparently she had 12 children, and she found out she was pregnant a 13th time. And was so angry about it. She didn't want another child. She didn't want to be pregnant again. And so she cursed the child, kind of just in a fit of rage. Didn't really think anything of it. She gave birth to the child, and then it came out normal, but then suddenly sprouted wings and horns and turned into that crazy looking, bipedal winged creature. And sometimes some stories say that immediately the child killed everybody and then flew into the Pine Barrens. Sometimes they say that he just flew away and didn't kill the family. But the Pine Barrens, I want to bring up a map because I'm going to show you where I lived growing up and where the Pine Barrens are. So the Pine Barrens are basically most of South Jersey. Let me see if I can come up with a good map. Here we go. All right, so this purple chunk is the Pine Barrens. So that's the entire state.
And so it takes up like 2/3 of it.
I lived right on the edge of the purple in here. And, I used to hear some weird shit in the woods at night. I don't know if I had an overactive imagination as a kid or if there was actually something out there, but there are a lot of people I know growing up who have sworn up and down that they have seen the Jersey Devil in the woods. And I have not personally laid eyes, but I've gone into the woods with a few people, just going searching, going hunting, because that's the thing to do in New Jersey.
That's your white instincts.
It is. Well, I never did it again after this one time that we went in. And I looked, and in between two trees, it was pitch black, but we have a couple flashlights, and I hear a fucking twig snap. I look over, I see two fucking red eyes looking at me. And I don't even, as soon as I see that, I don't even stop to look any further. I just run. Turn around and run back out of the woods. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm getting out of here. But I know some people who have said they've seen something, gotten close, pointed their flashlight at it. There's lots of videos online people have seen. I don't know if it's actually, if any of them are actually real or if it's just people catching videos of animals and stuff. Because, there are some freaky animals out there, especially you get a fucking, hunting camera at night. Sometimes them shit look pretty freaky, but I don't know, dude. I can't really say for sure if it's real, but I do know that it is something that I grew up hearing, and we would hear stories all the time. We'd have our bonfires and we'd talk about the Jersey Devil, because of course that was the thing to do when you're camping in the Pine Barrens where he said
right.
Is.
So the Pine Barrens, are they kind of like a Bermuda Triangle thing, or like the woods from the Blair Witch?
So It's weird because the Pine Barrens isn't just like a big stretch of woods. It's big stretches of woods, but there's also towns in there. So, I mean, it takes up like a very large area, but there are certain spots that are pretty secluded. It's just woods for a long acreage, but those are the spots where it's really best to go hunting.
It would be really cool to do it'd be cool to do like a Jersey Devil movie and just call it the Pine Barrens.
I wonder if that's been done yet. I'm sure
if it hasn't, we are copywriting it right now. So
we definitely will, dude. I want to take a trip back.
We're just ahead of the curve on this episode.
Dude, we're getting the trends. We're getting the
lock this one in the vault, buddy. This shit is gold.
So is there like any like movies or
oh yeah, there's things that include it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Let me see. Movies with the Jersey.
I think of like
there's a song from Coheed and Cambria called The Jersey Devil, based on the Jersey Devil.
That's right. There is, isn't there? Oh, look at that. There is one called The Barrens.
Ooh.
It came out in 2012, but it only got a 4.6 out of 10. And it says, a man takes his family on a camping trip in the New Jersey Pine Barrens and becomes convinced they are being stalked by the Jersey Devil.
Okay, so it's already been done.
Yeah.
It was a good idea.
Oh, wait, here's another one. Oh, but it apparently got only 3 out of 10. I like the sound of this one better, though. The 13th Child, which goes along with the origin story. It says, in New Jersey, the Jersey Devil, a mythical monster, is making mincemeat out of the locals. A super sleuth sets out to learn the grim truth behind the tall tale. Came out in 2002, though, so it's definitely going to be...
Probably like just low quality or something for it to get a low rating.
Well, I'm going to have to watch them.
Like when I think of pine, what's it called? Pine berries? Pine Barrens?
Pine Barrens. it's the name sounds scary. Barren means, barren.
Wasteland,
Nothing. Wasteland, yeah. And so pine, it's just a bunch of pine trees.
See, I just keep thinking of like, because if something like that was in Arkansas, the first thing I'm thinking is bunch of rednecks, bunch of incest, inbreeds, or something drug related. Which
it sounds like that, but it's actually really beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, New Jersey's super flat and super boring, but there are some really pretty spots.
Yeah. Pine
Barrens, the woods are really nice for camping in. I was a Girl Scout for a decade, and we used to go camping all the time. And I don't want to go camping ever again. I'm not going to lie to you, because now that I'm an adult, I have these fears about things in the woods.
Yeah.
Like not like really creatures. I'm more worried about other people,
especially after our national park episode. Got the pharaohs up in there.
Yes, dude. Like, I'm sorry, but at least when I'm in a house, there's a lock, Patrick's like, oh, well, so, somebody could still break into the house. I'm like, all right, but I'm going to hear them. Somebody comes up to my tent and just like, I'm done, dude.
Yeah,
Where am I going to go? I'm in a tent.
Nowhere.
Yeah. At least in the house, I'm a little bit more prepared. I don't know.
And like someone could, like, the thought of someone watching you all day and night. And
I have that fear, like, seriously, dude. I have a fear of being watched. And like, I seriously get that. Being in the woods, especially like being around a campfire, it's all dark around you, know? So like anybody in the woods could like see you, but you can't see them. Oh,
I can't wait till motherfucker goes in the tent.
Have you seen the movie Hush?
Is that the one about...
Dude, so it's a deaf woman is in a cabin in the woods, and this guy, like this serial killer, comes up. Woods. Yeah, that's another good one.
Mm-hmm. It's always, there's always a cabin in the woods. Don't go to the cabin in the woods.
Yeah. Did nobody learn anything from Evil Dead?
That's the best cabin in the woods movie ever, dude.
The originals are amazing, and I want to get a tattoo very soon. That's definitely gonna be my next one. Something with Ash.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Just get a shotgun with flowers on it and put, "This is my boomstick."
Oh, I think Patrick wants to get that, but I keep thinking about getting like a silhouette of him with this chainsaw hand.
Yeah.
Have you seen Army of Darkness?
Yeah. I just watched it the other night again.
Yes. So there's like a silhouette of him. Like, I don't know. I think he's got the chainsaw arm and he's holding up the gun or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want to get that. That would be really cool. Or like a portrait of him.
It's kind of like the Star Wars thing. I think he's got like the girl on his leg and shit. And he's like, shop smart, shop S-smart.
Yes. Oh my God. That shit's so
You
good.
should just get maybe I get like just an S-smart logo tattoo. So it's super obscure.
So nobody will get it, but like the right people will get it.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we are, looks like right at the hour mark. Are we fine with going in overtime?
I'm having a good time, man. I really got
chilling,
nothing but time.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
this
okay.
is the stuff I like to talk about.
I have one question, which kind of has something to do with like what the Pine Barrens would seem, and then I'd love to hear what you brought to the table, bud.
Yes, sir.
So my question is, are you two familiar with like abandoned staircases in the woods?
I have heard about.
I've heard.
So there's like staircases that you'll just go in the woods. People will be walking, and there'll just be like stone staircases that lead to nowhere. Like there's nothing attached to them, and there's reports of like. This one podcast I was listening to, these people were telling their story, and she said that she was like a park ranger somewhere in like Vermont, and they went out on this investigation. Something had come up in the woods, and they had to go check it out. And they come back, and they're on their way back through the woods in this real like backcountry area, and they stumble upon this staircase. It's like 8 or 9 steps up, and she goes to check it out, and her boss or supervisor, whoever's with her, stops and is like, don't touch those ever. And she's like, what are they? He's like, I don't know, but everybody who works for the parks department all around the country is like familiar with them. And if you don't step on them, don't stand on them, don't touch them, like just leave them alone. And they were like, have you ever done it? He was like, I won't get close to them, and nobody else will either. Like there have been reports about people getting on them and then disappearing afterwards, and they don't know where they go, they don't know where their stairs lead. But then she was like, so I just didn't do it. And you could look up pictures, just staircase in the woods, and it's weird shit too.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's real weird.
Maybe it's like a gateway to another dimension or staircase to heaven or something.
I mean, because like obviously the logical explanation was it was a house once, but
right.
But there's one house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And
there's no trace.
Yeah, and everything broke
away.
except for the stairs. That's super weird to me.
Right.
See,
and that's the thing is, if it had debris, you would be like, obviously it's a dilapidated house, but there's nothing.
So when I was a kid, it was not in the woods, nothing like that. So don't picture like a neighborhood, a normal neighborhood. And there's a house on the hill. It's where my third grandma lived. And then there's a fence. And on the other side of the fence is this big ass hill that we would go on. And at the top of the hill was the staircases with nothing else. And as kids, we played on it. We went under it, like on the back end, there's a big ass hole, shit like that. So I never, obviously as a kid, never thought about that, but hey, we could have disappeared. It sounds
fires,
like,
dude, man. Did you ever climb all the way to the top?
It was like maybe like 5-6 steps all the time. We played on it every weekend that we were over there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in the woods, so maybe that saved us.
It was just like around the corner.
It was on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
Maybe that was something at one time.
Possibly.
He was like, there was a big concrete slab too.
Now that I think about it, it was a gazebo.
Actually, it was a park. I was just at the fucking park.
Jesus. I need to be smoking what y'all are smoking.